Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to the episode 6 of Morning Cup of Merch. All right, guys, so I wanted to talk about something that has been said within the merch community before, and it's kind of come up recently. And I want to explore both sides of it. Because I do think that there is a portion of it that is genuine confusion on what these particular things do, and then there's just certain people that are just miserable and hateful. So the question came up again yesterday about Merch Informer, and because Neil Lawson, the guy behind Merch Informer, has recently put out a similar software for KDP called BookBolt. I watched RJ Martinez's video on it yesterday, and just from what I can see, I'll be honest, and I'm not an affiliate of BookBolt. I am an affiliate of Merch Informer, so let me go ahead and say that now. But what I saw from that video, it was amazing. For someone who's wanted to really get into KDP like that, but I have not had a lot of time, it makes it makes the transition of putting your designs on there a lot easier. It offers a lot of value for more than just the research itself. So I really do, but I am going to apply Matt Sheeran's theory, because I've scaled back heavily on my Etsy store. I still run, a lot of operations on Teespring, only because I have a very targeted customer base that's already at Teespring that I interact with regularly. So I built that there. I don't see any reason, I have not had any of those problems with Teespring. It's very targeted, so I don't see any reason to stop that or scale back that. But I am going to be just kind of zeroing down and just narrowing in on merch as I get my account back up to where it was. But anyway, that's another subject. So the discussion came up about Merch Informer, and people were saying that Merch Informer ruined Merch by Amazon. This is probably the most ignorant statement that I've personally ever heard. And let me tell you why I say ignorant. I don't say hateful, I don't say stupid, I say ignorant, because I do think that a lot of people just do not understand fundamentally what research tools are, how Merch Informer is not the first, it certainly won't be the last, and overall it helps. Merch Informer is just a compilation. See, this is what happens when you live in the South. You live in small towns in the South, and you driving along and you see someone who you grew up with and everybody's waving. So that's always funny. That doesn't happen. Like when I'm in New York or LA or somewhere like that, that doesn't happen. Only in the South. Anyway. So Merch Informer is just it's a compilation of the research that you would do if you went to Amazon.com. It's going to show you what shirts are selling in a particular keyword that you enter. It's going to show you the BSR. It's going to show you all of this. So here's the thing about it. That's no different than going to Amazon.com and typing that stuff in yourself. But in addition to that, it's funny that the same people that will sometimes say that, when they're posting screenshots, you see DS Amazon Quick View. Well, that does the same thing. You go to Amazon, you type it in, it's got the BSR right there. If you understand fundamentally what a BSR is, then that's essentially the same thing that Merch Informer is doing. It's just putting it all on one page and in order. This is no different than Jungle Scout for people with private label, and I think This is what happens when you have an influx of people into a platform where before they may have been doing FBA, they may have been doing, online or retail arbitrage, private label, whatever the case may be, and they may have been jaded with that experience. So anything that is a derivative of that experience in merch, people get up in arms. It's the same thing that happened with Chris Green's course. And what's funny is you give away so much for free, and in the moment you have something that's paid, people have an issue with it. I will say this: Merch Informer is not what's killing Merch by Amazon. The lack of wanting to put in the real work and the ease of blaming someone else for your shortcomings on a platform is what is bad for merch. If you want to put it into perspective, let's think about it this way. On Teespring, when it comes to what I would consider the big five of print on demand, and it's a fluctuating list, but essentially Merch, Redbubble, TeePublic, Spreadshirt, Teespring, and I do not include Etsy on that, only because Etsy is a marketplace that dabbles in print on demand. It's not specifically for print on demand. If Etsy had their own Merch by Amazon-esque program, then they would be included in that. But because we're talking about platforms that have a specific print on demand program, those would be what I consider my top five. Out of all of those, Merch is the only one where you can see the bestseller ranking and you can do research according to your bestseller ranking. When you go on Teespring, you don't see a BSR. You're not completely sure, unless you're using a tool like TView, that this particular shirt is selling. That particular shirt is selling. But amazingly enough, everybody complains that Teespring has the most copycats. Now, if your gripe is that Merch Informer helps people become copycats, well, how do you explain away Teespring? Let me explain something to you. For a lot of you newer pod sellers who may not know this, and some of you older pod sellers who may not know this, you've had copycats long before Amazon even thought of doing a print-on-demand platform. It's nothing new. It didn't get created with Merch by Amazon, and it's not going to stop no matter what the fate of Merch by Amazon be. So with that being said, stop complaining. If you feel that Merch by Amazon is worse off because of, and I really apologize for this glare that's behind me. This is really ridiculous. We're going to get rid of this in just a second. If you really feel that Merch Informer is the reason things are bad in Merch by Amazon, ask yourself this question. Am I going after the same niches that everyone else is going after? That could be your problem. Am I going after the same trends that everyone else is going after? That could be your problem. Have I zeroed down and gone past page 4 of results to see where something else may be niched down? You cannot blame a tool of research for competition. You want to talk about copycats? You want to talk about, derivative works? Why don't you ask Coca-Cola about Pepsi or RC Cola or Czech or any other cola brand that's out there that has a similar formula to them and similar flavors? That is the cost of doing business. And rather than sit back and complain about it, and it also amazes me that a lot of people who will sit back and complain about it will sit in the groups created by these people. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. I created this group, do live research in this group, give away all this free stuff. You're in this group that you did not create, and you are using the resources of this group, and you are complaining about the people who either created this group or the people who have contributed to this group to grow it to the point where you can use these free resources to scale your business. And this isn't sour grapes, because here's the reality. Yes, I know, cordially know Neil. Is he a friend of mine? No, and I don't say that in a bad way. We've never conversed on that level. Again, I am an affiliate of Merch Informer, just like I'm an affiliate of Merch Titans. But I'm an affiliate of things that I use. And I know I've not used Merch Informer to black hat anything. Now, do people abuse tools? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you then blame the tools? Man, I use this car to break into the side of a building and steal money out of there. Okay, so that means that cars are the cause of all the trouble in the United States. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, you're going to have people that abuse the tools. Merch by Amazon itself is a tool. You'll have people who will abuse that. And here's the thing about it. If I'm going to copycat someone, I don't need Merch Informer to do it. You can very simply go to Amazon.com, look for the top 100 shirts, and whatever you see there, copy it and put it up. That's not on Merch Informer. So again, and this, like I said before, this is, and yes, this is a bit of a rant. And I do apologize, because I always try to make sure that I give some type of value when I put up a video. But I think it's time out for this. I think it's time out for this. We are running businesses here. You run a business by not so much laser focusing on what someone else is doing, but you focus on what's going to make your business go. And if you really and truly think that Merch Informer is screwing up your business, I would be skeptical of how well your business is running. This is not a shot at anybody. But the reason I say that is most people who are in a space and they're successful in that space understand that there are elements that are going to affect their business. When they built their business to that point, they're not even looking at that. And I guarantee you, somebody that's doing 10 grand a month on merch isn't thinking about what Merch Informer is doing next. The reality is, we all have our businesses and we all need to work our businesses. And if you have your own business, you don't need to mind anyone else's. That's all I got for today, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow.